Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new, sis, where have you been? I've been here the whole time. Or if you've been watching but you haven't been subscribing, sis, hit the subscribe button below. Also click on the bell so that every time I upload a new video, you're the first to know. So today's video is, actually I'll tell you what my thinking behind the video was and why I decided to do this video. So I was thinking, you know what, I really want to do tutorials, you know, makeup tutorials and all of that, but I thought, you know, there's other people out there who haven't really started their makeup journey as yet, so it's very confusing to pick up, you know, from intermediate level, do you know what I mean, in terms of makeup. So I thought, let me do a makeup beginner series so that I can help those that, I don't know whose phone is ringing, so that I can help those who haven't really started but want to start but just don't have a starting point, I guess. So as you can tell by the title of the video, this is a makeup kit for beginners, and I've tried to make it very budget friendly because you don't want to be spending too much on makeup when you're starting off, because you're going to use a lot of it to play around and sort of understand your face. So I didn't want to splurge too much or show you items that cost a little bit too much for you to be playing around during the week with your makeup. Sorry. So my table's a bit too far. So okay, so I'm going to start off with primer. So obviously once you have washed your, well, you'd wash your face, you do your normal skincare routine, moisturize your face, and then you're about to start your makeup, you are definitely going to need to prime your face. And basically priming your face is just preparing your face to put makeup on it. So it sort of works as a bit of a layer between your skin and your makeup. It also helps your foundation lay or apply easier rather. So I have two different primers here. I use the one, I don't use the other anymore, purely because I have oily skin. So this one is by Benefit. It's called the Professional Matte Rescue. So it looks like that. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can. And you know, I heard a lot of people talking about Benefits and saying it's really good, it's really good. You can find it at Red Square, and it's a little bit on the pricey side, especially if you're gonna start with makeup, so keep that in mind. But it basically says matte rescue, so no filter, mattifying, pore blessing. Okay. Yeah, so it didn't work for me because I went from normal to combination skin to very oily skin. I don't know the reason behind it. But this one is, I'm gonna open it and show you. It's got a very, like, almost a silicone-y kind of feel to it. So it's like, it's a bit watery, yes, but it's still got that silicone-y vibe. So it didn't work for me because half of the time I was getting oily, or shine was starting to come through my foundation very quickly. So it's silicone-y. So if you have oily skin, you don't want to use that kind of primer, because it will make your face oilier than a primer for oily skin. I use this one. Listen, this, I live by this. It's called it's by Rimmel London Insta Fix and Go 2-in-1 primer and setting spray, and it looks like that. I hope you can see it. I don't know if my camera is doing their things today, but hopefully you can see it. But I'll write it down just in case you can't. And basically what this is before, so we're having my garden done today, so the gardening guys are here, so that's why there's just like water in the background, and the guy happens to be by my window, so sorry for that. So basically what this is it's water based, so it's oil free. So if you have oily skin, you want to go for primers that are like this, that you can actually spray on your face, because it's not going to clog up your pores and have you shining throughout the day or in the middle of the day, right? So basically just applies like that. And yeah, that's what it's called, Rimmel London Instafix and Go. That's your primer. So those are the two primers. If you have very dry skin, you might want to use the one that's very silicone-y. It's got a silicone feel to it. If you have very oily skin, you want to use a water-based one, which is literally, you can shake it. This one you can't shake, this one you can shake, so that's how you'll know the difference between the two. Because I have oily skin, a lot of the products that I use are going to be more towards people who have oily skin, but I will keep here and there getting alternative for people with dry skin. Oh wow, so today in J, I'm just not being allowed to be great. It's school holidays, so everybody is in arts everywhere. So as I was saying, I'm still on the foundation. I got distracted, so I had to stop for a little bit because as in John they just wouldn't allow me to be great. They wanted me a full feature the video because they were making so much noise. So in terms of foundation, I have 3 that I use and a little something that I use as well. So for a while I used the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour and my color was number 60, which looks like this, but my camera today is also being an enemy of progress, and it's just not focusing on my products. So I'm just gonna have to, I'll write the names down. And basically I used this for a very long time. I used to love it because I think it was like something like 160. I'm not too sure, I'll just confirm the price again. And it was great. And then I started realizing that they changed the formula, and what was supposed to be a lighter shade became a darker shade. So 58 became really dark, and it started oxidizing like halfway through, say if I'm going somewhere, and then when I get there, like, I'm darker. So basically oxidizing is, if you put on your foundation, this is just a very simple way of explaining it. If you put on your foundation and you look like yourself now, and then a couple of minutes later or sometimes an hour later, depending on what foundation you use, your skin color has changed, or the tone of the foundation rather has changed, you're looking a bit darker than you were when you initially put on the foundation, then you know that that foundation oxidizes. So this one, I don't know if it is something that oxidizes, but for me halfway through it started oxidizing, and that's why I took a break from it, for a while. And then I heard of the Essence Lightening makeup drops, and then it says mix to match your perfect shade. So I thought to myself, listen, if I'm not going to like really serious things where I have to do like a full face and I need to make sure it's like a proper full face, then I still want to finish off this foundation because okay, I bought the foundation. So then I got this, and what I would do is, because it oxidizes, I'd put like a drop of this, and when I have it on my face it would look a little bit light, and then when it oxidizes to my actual skin tone. So that's how I combated it. But I'll tell you now, there were a lot of, you know, failures before I figured out that it's just a drop, or this much, or this much, or this much. So play around with it at home before you go gallivanting and you're looking hella lights, or you just look off. So try it. I'll find out how much it is for you. I'll write it down. Try it and see if it works for you if you are going to be using a foundation that oxidizes. If you don't know and you start realizing that your foundation oxidizes, then you can get these. This one is by Essence, but there are, I think Maybelline, if I'm not mistaken, has their own lightening makeup drops. So you can just see what brand it is that you're buying and if they have the option for the lightening drops, just to combat the oxidizing thing. And then and that foundation is great for all skin types, even if you have oily skin. Like, it didn't make me oily or anything. My issue with it was that it started oxidizing. I don't know if it was because it was old, but it just, I started looking like something else. And then this one, a friend gave this one to me. This one oxidizes real bad. So it's just one I play with if I'm like trying to get new looks or whatever. It's called it's by Urban Decay, Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector. Yeah, this is it, but it oxidizes like mad. So yeah, but with foundation, if you're a beginner, what you do want to do is go to a store, ask them questions, tell them what your skin type is, and sort of let the ladies that are there guide you in terms of what foundation you need to go for. And you can go to like a Clicks or a Discam. You don't need to go for very expensive foundation because some of the drugstore foundations work just fine. Another thing is, do not try the foundation and have the ladies there give you a foundation. Try the foundation and then buy it immediately and then go. If you're around the mall for a bit, then try the foundation, walk around for a bit, and then see what it looks like on your skin, and then go back and buy it, so that you can see if it oxidizes or not, if it looks right for your skin or not, rather than buying it only for you to try it at home and it's not the same as what it was at the store, which is, I'm pretty sure it's happened to you, it's happened to me, it's happened to somebody you know. So just to avoid that kind of thing happening and you wasting your money, do that before. Do not try the makeup or the ladies, you know, put makeup on your face and then say yeah get on it, and then you buy it and you get out. Give it some time to see what it looks like, how it settles on your skin. And then my personal favorite, because like the past couple of months I've been struggling to actually find a foundation that works really well for my skin, that covers most of my marks, because I don't like concealing or color correcting. So I needed to find something that could cover as much as it could and was great for oily skin and didn't, for some particular reason, my car is really hot. So when it's hot, the cat is hot, so I don't want to get to a place shiny and all of that. And that's what was happening with this one, with the Maybelline, when I was using the Benefits Professional Primer. So, you know, I started looking and asking around, and somebody was telling me about Can't Stop Won't Stop. And then I heard about this one, and this one was cheap, and I was like, you know what, people have been using Revlon for a while, let me just try this one and see how it goes. If that doesn't work for me, then I'll go to the Can't Stop Won't Stop by NYX. And also because the Clicks that I went to didn't have NYX, so I was like, okay, let me try this. My color, just as a point of reference, but I didn't use this foundation today. I used the Maybelline with a drop. This color, well, the foundation is called wow, like I don't know what's happening to it. Revlon Colorstay Full Cover Foundation, and my color is 405, which is almond, and it says 24 hours. I haven't tried to see if it lasts 24 hours, but it lasts a real long time when I put it on my skin. So those are my recommendations, or some of the stuff that I happen to have in my makeup collection now. So that's foundation. I do want you you ladies to know that I will be doing a video on each of these subjects in more detail, so don't get a panic and be like, sis, you're going so fast and you saying you helping beginners, but then, you know, so don't worry about that. And then I'm gonna go on to concealer. So for concealer, I know people say use get a dark one and get a light one. If you're starting out and you want to be doing things like contouring or highlighting, you're gonna complicate your situation real quick. And what you do want to do when you're starting off with makeup is, you know, get little victories, like master little things, and then from there grow. So when I started off, I was not the one for contouring, my highlighting and the works, because I was like, disaster. I remember there's actually a time in varsity where I saw a video of a girl, and she was like, she basically highlighted and contoured her entire face. She didn't use foundation. Me being me, I was like, no, kabatsane. And I tried that, and I went to the club and with my friend, and they took pictures of us. Listen, I couldn't even recognize myself in the pictures. There was so much flashback. I was like, never again. So I'm very careful with concealer, my highlighter, my contour. I'm very careful. So anyway, this one is my favorite one. I use it for my brows. I use it to highlight my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. It's called, well, it's by Maybelline, and it's called the Fit Me Concealer, and the color I use is 50. I've noticed that 50 and 45 is like almost the same thing. So if you can't find 50, then you can get 45. And as I said, I use it just to highlight my under eyes, clean up my brows, and that's all you need it for, especially if you're a beginner and you don't want to confuse your life. That's what you're gonna use it for. And then I'm gonna go to the powders. My infallible powder. And then there's my favorite, the Essence Stay All Day Translucent Fixing Powder. It is white in color, but once you put it on your face, it doesn't have a color. And the reason why I love using this one is because you can use it to bake. You can use it just to give your face that mattifying finish as you go through the day. And it doesn't, unlike a color powder, can't see me. Unlike a colored powder, it doesn't sort of make your face look like it's piled and piled and piled with a lot of makeup. Do you know what I mean? Because of the color, because this is colored. So every time you add it just to powder your face, you end up looking like you've put a whole lot of makeup and your face looks heavy. It may not necessarily feel heavy, but it looks heavy when somebody's looking at it or when you're looking at it yourself. So I prefer using translucent powder because it's got a little bit more. You can double up on it. You can use it to bake, and you can use it just to mattify your face and keep your face dry as you go through the day. And then another one which was a complete miss for me because I got the wrong color, it's also a bit dark, is the Fit Me Maybelline matte plus poreless powder, and this color is, where is the color, 350, and it says caramel, but it's a little bit dark. It's almost the same as this one, as the L'Oreal Nutmeg. Okay, it is lighter, but it's still a little bit too dark for my face. But I've heard only great things about these products, so if you do want to try, you can try it. But you can always go for Essence. It's also as great, and it's a little bit cheaper than these two. This one's more pricey, this one's a little bit less, and then the Essence one is the cheapest one, and the cheapest isn't always the worst. It's quite good quality. And then I'm going to be moving on to the brows. Yes, the brows. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat. In terms of brows, there are different ways to do your brows, right? And there are different products to do your brows. So we all have our different ways, and some ways are more complicated than others, and I think it's just a preference kind of thing in terms of your brows. But what I use for my brows is the Essence Eyebrow Designer, and in the color number 2. Yeah, so this thing is great because, and word of advice, do not go for a black eyebrow pencil because it just looks really harsh on your brows. It doesn't look right. So go for a dark brown. I use this because it's really good. It's nice and creamy, it lasts long on your face, and it just looks like any other high-end product that you could possibly buy to do your brows, and it's affordable. So I've been using it for a while. Ever since they introduced this, it's been me and this baby the whole time. But then other people prefer using, I'll show you now, powder. And I know you've heard of people using powder. This is the powder that I use when I do decide to use powder, which doesn't happen as much anymore because I had started using this first, then I found this. So I bought this and I actually haven't used it. So I started loving this one more and finding myself using this one more. But there is the powder by Essence. It's called Essence Brow Stylist Set. I will show you this one. This one is great because if you're a beginner, it has stencils. I don't know if you can see. It's got stencils in it, so it's got a small brow, a high brow, and a regular brow. And I think my one is a regular brow. I don't like really big brows. So it's got stencils if you're looking for that kind of thing, but it's very difficult to use stencils because you literally have to, and you're gonna need a pencil if you use the stencil, because you're gonna hold it down like this, and if you use the brush alone, it's gonna move. So you wanna use a pencil to draw the outline. So it's up to you, but I think a pencil works for me and is less complicated. I will be doing a tutorial on how to do your brows, just a quick and easy way to do your brows, so don't worry, I got you. So there's that one. And then there are people who prefer, oh, I put this some other way. There are people who prefer using eyebrow gel, which is, it's just in a little pot like this, and it's a gel, and this one is the medium brown, which is the same as this. This product is one of my brands. It's doesn't have any branding on it because it was one of the sample ones. It's by Dream Doll, and this one is called medium brown. If you are a beginner, I honestly do not recommend using this because it is very complicated. You need to apply this with an angled brush. If you haven't mastered how to shape your brows and you haven't really fully understood the shape of your brows, this is gonna, it might work for you, but it might also kill your confidence in terms of doing your brows. So even now, I'm not the best when it comes to doing brows with gel, but I do try. But if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend the pencil or the powder. The pencil, if you're gonna get the pencil alone, that's fine. If you're gonna get the powder, also double up with the pencil just in case. So that is it for his brows. Okay, I'm gonna do blush. And my blush is finished. Like, I can't even open it because and it's just got a little bit of blush left. It's by Essence, and I can't see the number, but I can see the name. It says Baby Doll. I got it a long time ago. I clearly love it because it's hit pan a long time ago. There's just like a few nyana drops or little pieces of it that I literally just, you know, abuse to get a bit of color on my cheeks. But you can get basically any kind of blush. It's just to give you your skin a little bit of color once you've put on your foundation and you've highlighted where you need to highlight. If you want to get a blush palette, that's great. It's something I want to do now because I don't want to just use like a baby pink. Sometimes you want to use a peach. Sometimes you want to have different, you want to give your skin a different kind of pop of color. So if you can only afford to get one, then get maybe like a lightish baby pink or a peach if you're darkest, if you have a deeper skin tone than myself. Other than that, if you want to go crazy and you have the money to splurge, you can get a palette. Next is oh, and that I don't know if I mentioned that blush is by Essence, and then this one is the Essence I Love Stage Eyeshadow Base. I live by this. This is my holy grail because it is very affordable and it works. It is what I use as a base in case you buy, you know, sometimes you buy an eyeshadow palette or just like one of those eyeshadow tubs, and when you try it on, it's not as pigmented as you would have liked it to be, or it is pigmented but it doesn't work with what you're trying to do with your eyeshadow that day. So what you can do is you can use this either as a base to give it more pigments. For instance, if you're going to do like your first color, your base color, you can firstly apply this instead of, a lot of people are now using concealer to do that, but I use this because I think this was made for that, and so it just works better for me. You use this, put it on your eyelids, add your color, go crazy, and then if you want to do sort of like want to give your eyes a pop of color, like from your inner from the inner eye going outward, you can just use this eyeshadow a pop, and that's what it does. It's optional. You don't, it's not gonna change your life if you don't have one, so it's optional. So if you're choosing between the necessities and just the nice to haves, then this would be a nice to have, but it's not sorry, this would be a nice to have, but it's not a matter of life and death. No. And then I'm going to do eyeshadow. So I think as a beginner it is very, very important to get an eyeshadow palette, because if you buy the deep eyeshadow, it's gonna confuse you, because there's just so many colors to choose from, and when you're putting your colors together it may be a little bit difficult. So always go for when you're starting out, go for eyeshadow palettes, because it's usually a scheme of colors and those colors work well together. So it's easier, it will be easier for you to pair a certain color with another color because it's on the same palette, meaning they somehow work together in the scheme of things. That's the easiest thing you can do for yourself, because if you buy the individual ones and you haven't really figured out how to use colors, what kind of colors you use a lot of the time, what you need, you may end up buying a lot of individuals that you never use. And I think that's happened to me. Like I have individuals that I still don't use because it just didn't, in the scheme of things, it didn't work for me. So this one is from, I bought this at discount the other day and it was 100 and I'm not sure if that's the actual price or if it was on sale, but it was 100 bucks, and it's called the Beauty Treats. Let me see if the palette has a name. It just says 24 matte palette. Oh, it has an expiry date. So this one is basically, it's got a whole lot of colors, because I like playing with colors and I've already sort of figured out how I mix my colors and whatnot, and I just needed some new colors. But if you're gonna buy a palette for the first time and you want something you can play around with just to understand what looks good for your face and what doesn't work, I suggest getting let me just show you, getting a palette, so just half of it, so this kind of thing, like your neutrals, your very earthy colors, your gold, your browns, your dark browns, those kind of things, those kind of colors. This, if you have this palette, I mean, there's so many things you could actually do, and so many colors and color schemes you could actually create just by using these. So there's 4, so 4, 8, 12. Just by these 12 colors you can make amazing looks with these. And then obviously as time goes and you want to add color, or you want to, you know, start seeing doing what you're seeing in tutorials, then maybe you can get one like that that's more brighter. But this is very difficult to work with if you're going to be beginning your makeup journey. This is much easier. So get those kind of colors or fun palettes that you can work with. I actually saw such a stunning palette at Clicks, and I wanted to take it, then I didn't want to take it, then I wanted to take it, and it's by Essence. When I do get the palettes, because I've decided now I want the palettes, I will show everybody what the palette looks like. And then you also get the ones, this one is from my brand, this one hasn't launched as yet. It's a 35 color eyeshadow palette, and it basically looks like this. It's got a mirror on top, but I just don't want to show you the reflection. So it's got a lot of colors, so you can play with the earthy ones on this side. These are also a bit earthy, and then there's a little bit of color play on this side. But this or these kind of colors rather are go-to colors when you're starting out, just so you can get a feel of, you know, playing around with eyeshadow. So eyeshadow palette is very important. Don't buy the individual ones as yet. Go for a palette, go for something nice and earthy, very golden, shimmery, brown, very calm colors that you can work with, because sometimes the pinks and the oranges and the yellows and all of that become very daunting, and they're difficult to play around with, and you end up making a mess before you can actually make a masterpiece. And then in terms of liquid line, instead of liners, I use a liquid liner. It is not the easiest thing to use. It can get messy if you're a beginner. But I also feel like a pencil, an eye pencil, they're just not trustworthy these days. Actually, that's why I don't buy them, because they say waterproof and then halfway through this thing is no longer waterproof. People are looking at you, and then when you check yourself in the mirror eventually, then you know why they were looking at you. So I don't trust that. I use the Essence Liquid Ink eyeliner, and it says waterproof, and it is waterproof. It works for me. If you want to use liquid liner, it's going to need a little bit of practice. So practice, a steady hand, and yeah, you'll figure it out. But firstly, I recommend, if you want to start using liquid liner from the gate, just start doing just a straight line across. Don't now go and complicate your life with the cat eye ding as yet. Once you can do the line and you can do it straight, yeah, then you can add on to those skills that you now have of doing line straight. If you're going to be doing cat eyes and from the get-go, it might work for you, it might not work for you, so just be careful with that. I don't have a pencil one that I can recommend because I just don't use the pencil. And then I have two mascaras. This one is by Essence. It says I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. This, I want to have this. This will take your look from here to here. It just gives your eyes that thing, man, that thing. Your lashes just look like some out of a movie. It looks like you have falsies on. It really does stretch your eyelids, your eyelashes, sorry, out. And also the way this kind of brush, there's different brushes for different kinds of lashes, by the way. I will do a video on that. This one is specifically for elongating your lashes, so it works perfectly for me. It's very affordable, it's great, it's waterproof, it dries quickly. I haven't had any issues with this one. So if you gonna be buying Essence stuff, then you might want to look for this one. It is absolutely amazing. This one is the, I think it's the Rimmel Mega Volume, not even Rimmel, yo, I'm lying, L'Oreal Mega Volume Don. I'll check the name because the name is like come off. I use this thing all the time. This here is amazing, but it's a drugstore product, but it's not as cheap as you're gonna get this, and it works just the same. These two work the same. But this brush is a little bit different, but it does the same thing. This one separates your lashes and elongates them. So this one doesn't necessarily separate, but it elongates them. So I think mascara is just a matter of preference. If you have never used mascara before, then I think just go for the Essence one, just to get a vibe of mascara. If you have used mascara, you probably got a mascara that you always go to. Just stick with the one you usually go for, and it should be fine. Oh, but this video, my mouth is dry. But anyway, I'm almost done. Not liquid hue. I like liquid lip liners. I don't use lip liners. As you can see, I have very voluptuous lips, so I don't use anything to line my lips because I just don't. Like, I've seen girls with big lips that use like liners. I just don't. If you want to use liners, I think you can start using the ones from Essence. I've heard those are really good from other YouTubers, other South African YouTubers. I don't even know what colors to recommend, because you'll know what kind of colors you usually fall to or lean towards when it comes to lip colors for your lips. So I don't want to recommend anything. I have 3 of them here. Never use them. Chances are I'm never gonna use them. They came with the lip kits. That's it. But if you want to line your lips, then it would be great. If you have smaller lips and you want to make them a little bit more plumpy, then you definitely want to buy liners to line your lips. And now for the lippies. Because I started a cosmetics range called Dream Dolls, sorry, I have my own that I've been using, like this one that I'm using now, and I have other ones that lipsticks, you want to try as many as you can, and you don't want to splurge too much on it. But then once you find what works for you, then you'll sort of know, and also what colors work for you. My lips are very, very dry, so when I use something that's mattifying, it needs to be mattifying but moisturizing at the same time, so that my lips aren't chipping or they hurt or whatever at the end of the day. So I love these ones. The formula that I decided to go for does exactly that. It is non-transferable, it's hydrating yet mattifying at the same time, and the colors are amazing because I chose them myself. But anyway, I'm actually going to do a video of all of the colors and swatches at some point when I get the time. Before my range came about, I used to love this Maybelline range, the one with the lids, with the dark lids like this. Let me just check what it's called. I don't know. Okay, so the range is called the Color Sensual range, and then it's the mattes, and it is very, very hydrating, yet has a matte finish at the end. This is what I was talking about when I say if you have dry lips and you still want to go for matte, you need to find something like this. These changed my life. I literally started buying these in twos. This one is caramel brown. I had some other purple one, I had a gray one, I had a pink one. I still have them, I just didn't put them out here, but I still have them. They're really good. You should try them. I can't remember how much they cost me. And then I also have lip glosses here. These are also my ones. But lip glosses you can get anywhere, just as long as the color works for you. I like lip glosses that are more leaning towards color stain. So these ones are leaning towards the color stain kind of vibe, because it's got more color than it does that shine. So it depends. If you have small lips and are shiny and you want shiny lips, you know, and it works for you, great. For me, shiny lips, oh well, it's just not a thing for me, but it's okay. So that's basically it. This is a very long video, but it's been very detailed, and I hope it helps you sort of figure out what you need. It helps you create a list of what you're gonna go and buy, the questions you're gonna ask, and some of the things you're gonna think of when starting your makeup kit. You also need a makeup bag, because obvious, you're gonna need to keep these things somewhere. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's helped you want to start your makeup journey, and it sort of calmed you down, because I know it can be a mission and a half trying to figure out what it is that you need. Thank you so much for watching and continuing to watch. Thank you to those that have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I'm gonna be doing a makeup series, as I mentioned. So this one is just the beginning. Next week I'm going to be doing makeup brushes. So please just stay with me in the journey. Please like the video, share the video with people that you'd like to start the journey with, or somebody you heard wants to start the journey, and let's just, you know, come together as a family and do this makeup thing together. Thank you so much for the support. Mwah. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week. But don't forget to catch me on social media as well. You can inbox me any questions you have. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter. So I'll leave all the details in the card at the end. Mwah.